What's going on, guys? This is Jacob Flores, sales counselor with KB Home. Welcome back to the show. Today, we're going to go ahead and talk about Brighton, our new community out here in Hockley. Today, I also have the other sales counselor, Justin, that's going to go ahead and talk about the community with me. But thank you for coming on, Justin.
Yo, man, thank you for having me, man. I'm excited about the grand opening coming up here pretty soon. So, yeah, man, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you do before you were a sales counselor?
Yeah, man, just, a little bit background on myself. I started out like in the automotive industry in sales. And then, COVID hit and that market became pretty volatile. And I had a lot of friends that were real estate agents and they said, hey, man, you, with your personality, the way you connect with people, you really should try to get into new home sales. And I gave it a try and, it's been a party ever since, man. Yeah.
Same kind of deal with me. I do come from like the furniture industry, but also sales, right?
Exactly.
Commission sales. And I was going to get into that auto industry, but I kind of like passed that up because I've heard like horror stories.
Smart man. You're a smart man.
Now that I'm in new home sales, I absolutely love it. I enjoy it. I feel like I learn something every single day. I know you've been here for 2 years and you probably still learn a couple things.
Yeah, I'm learning things every day, man. But the one thing that I've grown to fall in love about what I do is just making dreams come true, man. There's nothing more gratifying than someone coming into your office with no idea of how they're gonna purchase a home or how this whole thing works. And then, a few months down the road, you ride by and you're waving and they're playing in the front yard. It's very gratifying.
Especially if they have kids and everything.
Yeah, it's the kids, man. The kids playing in the playground. You're like, I sold them that house, So it's a really good feeling.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it with the community that's located here in Hockley. So I know Hockley has been one of the fastest growing areas outside of Houston.
Yeah.
What are you seeing that is attracting so many buyers to come over here to Hockley?
Yeah, I think buyers are starting to become more savvy. They want to get more value, more bang for their buck. And I think, once they come out to Hockley and they actually experience it, they start to think, I can get a 3,000 square foot home here for, low to mid 300,000s, right?
Yeah.
And I'm 3 minutes away from 290. So I think they just start to look at it from a value standpoint. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people are intrigued with how fast it's growing. I think that perception of Hockley just being kind of, rural is slowly starting to fade away as more businesses and more communities start to thrive.
Yeah, especially the people that have seen that as well. That has been growing up here in Houston. I know even Cypress, years ago when it was like country. I know
absolutely.
Still people to this day down on Mushki Road on Cypress, even when you drive a little further down, it's still a big country.
Yeah.
So the people that have seen it, they know what's going to happen here in Hockley in a couple years. So they're just preparing for it. But same thing goes back to what you just said, value.
Yeah.
Because, the homes are going to go up in price.
Yeah.
By a lot. It's like one of the best markets to get into as far as getting a high ROI.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you think more people are choosing to move further outside of Houston instead of staying a bit closer to the city?
Yeah, I think there's a number of things that you want to look into. First is the location. I think location is important to people. I think maybe in the past, people were a little bit hesitant to move into places like Hockley and Cypress and Magnolia because they didn't have, the amenities and the shopping, the grocery stores. They had to drive a long way. But now you see, Hockley, and speaking about Brighton Preserve in particular, there's a HEB 15 minutes away. Yeah. There's a outlet mall 15 minutes away. All the banking you need, everything you need is here. And this is just the beginning. So I think buyers from the city, they're starting to see that.
Yeah.
I think I just saw an article that came out that said that the Houston Texans are making a facility in Bridgeland. So I think people can see that shift.
Yeah.
And they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, even though it's a little bit further out the city, everything you need is close by.
Oh, absolutely.
Some people think that because they're gonna move to Hockley, that I gotta drive 25 to 30 minutes to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
But no, look, we have HEB that's only 15 minutes away.
Right.
We have the Houston Premium Outlet Mall, which is only like 12 minutes away.
Absolutely.
So everything is right there. I mean, I kind of understand, like, if Hockley was maybe like country, and it was further in and
Yeah.
not close to 290,
Yeah.
then that's different.
That's
but,
different.
Everything's close by.
That's different. And it's funny you say that because I know there's other communities that I've worked in before where when you exit off the highway, you literally have to drive 20 minutes before you get to the community.
Yeah.
Whereas with Brighton, you exit Roberts Road on 290 and you're in your community in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So think about how much that cuts down on your commute.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So Brighton Preserve is a newer KB home community. What makes this community unique compared to other communities in the Houston area?
Yeah, I would say amenities, right? Amenities is number one, and value and price and amenities. Here, you're going to get a community swimming pool. You're going to get pickleball courts. You're going to get playgrounds. The kids will always have something to do here, right? And let's say they do get, tired of the amenities here. There's so much within the area, like Zuby Park. There's events going on every weekend in Zuby Parks. There's soccer and there's frisbee ball. There's a lot of things just minutes outside of the community. There's sports clubs. So there's so much to do. So I would say the amenities here are important. And like I said, I think the value. I think the value too. And if you get in early, you'll be able to reap the benefits as the community continue to grow within the next couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking about parks, we got Zuby Park, we got the Zuby Spray Park, and then we have the Hockley Complex Park. A lot of new parks that are coming up as well. So family can, gather around, get their workout in. I mean, that's something that is really exciting here in Brighton.
Yeah, and I think another feature that we don't talk about much, but it's the retention ponds and the walking trails. So they're going to do a retention pond right in the beginning of the community with a walking trail. I think that'll be, very peaceful to go, work off some calories. We all need a walking trail, right?
Yeah.
Especially me.
Yeah, and not to mention, Brighton is the only community that has a pool.
Yeah.
Only one.
Yeah.
And it's been so many years since KB, has made a pool in the community.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited about it as well. I know a lot of people when they come out, they want a pool. They want a pool in their own backyard. But that's just one expense you can take away because we have a community pool, and it's nice size too, man. It's gonna be really nice. It looks like it's gonna be very spacious to accommodate the entire community. So I'm excited about the pool as well. Yeah.
What do you think makes buying in an early stage community exciting to customers?
Yeah, like I said, I say two things. The first thing is the equity, right? We all know we can look around Brighton Preserve and know that it's gonna blow up and it's gonna be a well sought after community. So if you can get in early on, you avoid that boom that we know was, destined to happen down the line. So that's the first thing, get in early. And I think the second thing is being able to witness community grow around you. That's a really cool thing to come out and you're one of the first homes.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, like I said, you're riding on your bike with your kids through the community. I remember when this was nothing. It's really cool to witness it unfold.
Really cool to witness and really cool to know that you got one of the best prices.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly. Yeah. And you can see it in real time. Just to tell you, just to throw a quick story out there. I just had a conversation with a buyer. I worked in Marvita, and he wanted to build in Marvita, but he just kept procrastinating. And then when he was finally ready, we had no more dirt. We had no more home sites left, and he's just kicking himself. So I gave him a call. I said, "Hey, this is Brighton Preserve. You got a chance to redeem yourself. You can get in early, and you could be the one that can watch the community develop." So we have an appointment. But that's just an example of someone who missed out, and we know how well Marvita is doing. It's one of those highly sought after communities, and Brighton Preserve will be the same way.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that. That's why whenever someone's trying to buy a home and they're thinking too much, I understand it's a big purchase.
Yeah,
but you have to look at the opportunity that you're having.
Exactly,
especially in a good community like this.
Yeah,
you can't sleep on it. I think that's something that a lot of people take a long time deciding as far as the home, but when you see that opportunity, you got to take
You
it.
got to jump on it, man. I know I have a colleague of mine that always makes the joke. He goes, "Well, God's not making any more land," right? And that's true. So you have to, take advantage of what's in front of you. And I think Hockley is, if you choose Hockley right now, you won't regret it 5 years down the road.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
You won't. You won't. What are some nearby conveniences, schools, or attractions that make Hockley appealing for families?
Yeah, so I think Hockley is underrated when it comes to food, restaurants, and like shopping, right? Especially where we're located. There's so many different restaurant choices to choose from, and I actually didn't think so myself until I drove into the area and just started, marketing and making my visits. Going to the outlet mall and just driving around the surrounding area. I'm like, man, there's a lot to choose from.
It is. Yeah.
A lot of shopping. Like I said, I love HEB. Everyone loves HEB. You don't have to go far to frequent your favorite shops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right there, 15 minutes away, they have many restaurants. They have Yoko if you want to have some sushi. They have a pho spot.
Yep.
All type, but especially here in Hockley, they have backdoor pizza.
Yep.
They have just 10 minutes away in Waller, they do have Ranchitos, Cielito Lindo.
Yep. There's a lot of restaurants. There's a couple on the tip of my tongue too, but yeah, like I was amazed just driving at all the options.
Yeah, you'll gain some weight down here.
Yeah, man. I already am, man.
What type of buyer do you think Brighton Preserve is good for?
Man, I think there's a lot of buyers that will find this community attractive. One, I know, there's, older couples that are looking to downsize. I feel like we're going to see a lot of that. Yeah. Maybe they purchased a home inside the city years ago, and now they're wanting to get away from the hustle and bustle. Yeah. So they're deciding to come to a community that's, more peaceful, more community driven. I think we're going to see a lot of that. I also think we're going to see those savvy first-time buyers that can see that if I get in this community early as a first-time buyer, that this is going to be a great investment for my family. Especially if you have those customers that they just they have their first kid, they're a growing family, and they get in early. And when when that house gets too small for them, they'll have enough equity to upgrade. So I see that a lot. Also, the location, Prairie View University is right up the road. I know there's a lot of Houstonians that commute from Houston, professors and admins that are commuting, making that hour drive when we're just 25 minutes away from the university. Yep. And I think a lot of people would want to take advantage of that are affiliated with Prairie View. Shout out to Prairie View University.
Shout out PV.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of students there, and I know, once they graduate, they're excited to get their job.
Exactly.
Probably close by, or maybe, not going too far, maybe in the Cypress area, but we're not far at all from Cypress.
Exactly.
So we would be a good choice for, any first-time home buyers, any students that, want to get a home. KB Home is here for them.
For sure, and you're a little bit more familiar with the area. What about College Station? Is that kind of within our range?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know when I was selling furniture, I would always get a lot of families and students that were purchasing their homes down here. And because they know there's a bit more opportunity in Houston, so they want to get a bit close, but still stay in the outskirts.
Absolutely.
Where they don't want to be, in the traffic and all that. But
got it.
A lot of people need to come down here from College Station.
Yeah, I definitely believe we're going to get a lot of potential buyers from that area, especially, we have the trails plan as well that'll probably cater a little bit more towards them. So we have something for everyone of all budgets. Yeah.
I was actually going to discuss about that as well. So here at Brighton, I know we do have two different type of models to choose from. You can either choose Brighton Preserve or Brighton Trails.
Yep.
What is the main difference between Brighton Preserve and Brighton Trails? Well,
I think there's two things that you got to look at. The first thing is the size of the home site. The trails are going to build on a 40-foot lot, and the preserve is going to build on 50-foot. So what that does is, from the 50-foot standpoint, you're going to get a little bit more curb appeal. You'll get more home. But on the trail side, it'll be more so geared towards your first-time buyers or people that are more budget conscious. But you can rest assured that the quality, regardless of which product you choose, is going to meet that KB standard that we push for on every home.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody that will appreciate maybe a bit more land on their home.
Exactly.
Maybe has a lot of family that come over for the holidays that like to spend time in their house.
Exactly.
I would probably say that one's a better fit, and larger home where it doesn't feel as tight.
Yeah, I think a lot of buyers on the preserve side is gonna, like I said earlier, they're gonna look at those 3,025 to 3,000 square foot homes in Katy and in the city of Houston, and they're gonna ask themselves, why pay $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 when I can customize my own home at a very affordable price. So that's what I feel like we're gonna see a lot from the preserve customers.
Why should buyers consider looking at Brighton Preserve sooner rather than later? Preserve specifically.
Preserve sooner than later. Because you made a comment earlier about, when Cypress was just land, right? Think about the benefits that customers are reaping from buying in Cypress 15 years ago, 10 years ago. You can imagine, like, the equity that they have, and how happy they are that they made that decision. The same is going to be true with Brighton, right? So that's the benefit of getting in early. Getting in early at that early price, getting in early when you can, be the first to experience all the amenities, and watching it, and being able to make sure that it's being maintained. I think you'll feel more connected with the community when you're one of the first ones here, and you'll be able to kind of, police it and monitor it and make sure it stays to the level that, we want families to enjoy.
Absolutely. Another thing too, I would take action with going with preserve earlier than later, because we only have a limited amount of lots.
Right.
We're gonna build 300 and something homes here, but that stuff goes quick.
It's fast, man.
It's fast. Talking about lots and everything, what would you say are the lots that usually get taken up sooner?
Well, I think it all depends. Each customer is different, and each customer have different wants. I know corner lots are usually very desirable, right? But then you have some people that love the cul-de-sac. Yeah. Some people hate the cul-de-sac.
Some people do hate it.
Yeah. Some people say, "Hey, man, I want the most affordable lot. It really doesn't matter to me where it's located. I just want affordability." So you have different people that want different things, but I would say it just depends on the buyer, what they like.
As far as what you've heard with cul-de-sacs, why do people usually like cul-de-sacs? I know the only one thing that I found out that people like about it is they like a bit more privacy, and there's not always going to be cars that are passing by your home. It's only the people that live in the cul-de-sac.
Yep.
So I completely understand. Is there any other benefit?
Yeah, like you said, that no through traffic. Usually when you drive through these neighborhoods and you go to cul-de-sacs, you almost always see kids riding around on their bike, or they're playing basketball, or they're throwing the ball around. So you get that no through traffic. Another thing that I've noticed with the cul-de-sacs are they're typically going to give you a larger yard because the lots are cut a little bit wider. So if yard space is important to you, the first thing I'm going to show is like a cul-de-sac. Yeah.
I see. That can definitely be a benefit. What about a corner lot? I know the benefit is to not have a neighbor on one side.
Yeah.
Is there any other benefit from that?
No neighbor on the side, and then a lot of times in the HOA, it's a really good curb appeal when you have that corner lot, because they'll typically put up additional like landscape, additional trees, so you have a better curb appeal on that corner lot. I've seen that. Yeah.
Probably even more parking too.
Yep, you got that part. Yeah, you have a family gathering. Yeah, you got that extra space to park. Yeah, sure. Let me ask you this, because I know you've been in a few communities, right? How would you compare Brighton Preserve as opposed to the other communities that you visited or that you've worked in?
I would say that Brighton is one of the best ones that I have seen. The reason why is because 290 is right by here. Yep. Houston Premium Outlet Mall is close by. All the groceries are close by. I feel like there's no other, I feel like it's one of the like perfect locations where it was placed at.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
KB Home definitely did a great job looking for the land to be able to bring, you know, families and individuals to come here and live, because they know it's gonna do good. That's the reason why they put a lot of money into this.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I think when I drive out here, it just screams family. It screams family. You know, like I said, on my drive in, I'm passing several parks, passing Zuby, and it's just it's peaceful and it screams family. I know that we have the Jubilee community not too far, you're right, and it's a master plan community.
Yep.
But when you compare the price, I just think it's a no brainer with the amenities that you get here, and you're paying $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 less. And we're in a great same school district, very safe community. I think when you line them up side by side, I think Brighton is definitely the smarter choice.
Yep. And the other community that is well known here in Hockley is going to be Grand Prairie as well.
Yeah,
But the price point is a bit higher as
Exactly.
well. So that's why I think it's just kind of a win-win here in
Yeah.
Brighton Preserve.
absolutely. I think buyers are going to start to see that once the community we have our grand opening and they start visiting, you know, all of the communities. I think we're going to stand out way above the competition.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, look, thank y'all very much for watching. If you guys are interested in purchasing a home, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Jacob Flores, sales counselor, or to Justin here. Is there
Absolutely.
any last words that you would like to tell the viewers?
No, guys, just be on the lookout for our advertising for our grand opening. We're very, very excited about this community. I strongly encourage all type of buyers to take advantage early on. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I do have an Instagram, JT the Home Pro, at JT the Home Pro. You can direct message me if you want to set up an appointment. I'm here to help in any way that I can. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Well, I'll go ahead and put our contact information down below at the bio. Please don't hesitate to reach out, and I'll see you on the next episode.